Or is it not?
I don't know.
Set. You're live.
I'll check.
Well, according to that, you are.
Good evening, everybody. Hopefully people will come in. I don't know how to do any of this, but we're gonna try to do some Bible trivia tonight. All right, if anybody is in, I'm gonna start with some easy trivia, then we'll get into the harder trivia later on. All right, who was David's father? Hi, KP. Okay. You're added as a moderator there, bud.
All right, shut this phone off over here. Can't get you on here, but I'm sure I can.
No, I don't want that. So hopefully you're a moderator, KP, but I don't know how to do that. So, but I'm still learning on this part of the thing. KP, who was David's father? Do you know that one, hon? I'm hoping a lot more people come in because this is just weird for me being the first actual live that I can see people doing.
Yep, you're live. Let's see. You have 2 people.
Oh, cool. Well, that's you. Awesome. Okay, now you're a moderator, hon. I don't know how to do that, but do you know who was David's father in the Bible?
Well, you gotta give them the answer.
If you don't, it is Jesse from 1 Samuel 17. Hi, Jericho.
I know this.
Okay. Add as a moderator, manager, and save. Okay. Awesome. Are they blue? Okay, KPN. All right. Yeah, that was right, Jericho. Jesse. Okay. Second question. What was the name of the priest that Hannah brought Samuel to live with? You're going to have to.
Yeah, well, I can check on my phone.
Yeah, check on your phone, babe, so I can make you a mod too. That's my husband I'm talking to, guys. Hey, at least this is interesting. So, and I'm learning live. The next question, guys, was what was the name of the priest that Hannah brought Samuel to live with? And this is in the Old Testament. This is cool too. So I'm definitely. Thank you, hon. My hubby had to check if I had sound, guys. So. Well, yeah, I know they could. I could ask them too. It's always interesting. Yeah. Give me a thumbs up if you can hear me loud and clear, and I know you can. So. But. Okay, cool. Yeah. Thank you, Jericho. Do you know what was the name of the priest that Hannah brought Samuel to live with? And this is in the Old Testament. Those are the Old Testament ones. I'm still in the Old Testament, hon. All right. Who was the first king of the 10 tribes of Israel? And I know because we read about him, and it's a weird name. KP, you got an answer, hon? If not, here it is. It's Jeroboam in 1 Kings chapter 14, verse 7. Hold on. Yeah, I know. I see that. KP, that's all right. Jesus and God, Yahshua and Yahweh, love you regardless. It doesn't matter. You just have to believe that you will be in heaven with them. It doesn't matter what you believe, hon. As long as you know that you will be going to heaven, you will get there, because God gave his only son to save all of us. I know. You're cool, KP. I love your channel. It's fun watching you do all that cement and stuff, and it's cool. All right. Who was the most wicked of all the kings in the Old Testament? And it's from a book that we read, if you've read it. It's from like Moby Dick. What was the captain's name? Yeah, I saw that. That was funny, KP. The OnlyFans. I like your cement videos. Those are pretty cool. But this is definitely neat. I'm going to have to schedule some more of these. Maybe I'll start doing them on Sunday. Yep, Jericho, you got it right. Ahab, the son of Omri. Yeah, my husband does not know that. And let me do this because I want to make him a moderator. Save. Yay, you're now a moderator for my channel there, bud. The hint helped. So what do you do now, KP? Do you just do like the flags and stuff for the business, or what? Okay, here's another one, guys. Who was the man from the land of Uz? Delivery driver. What do you deliver for? Like the UPS or any of the other guys? Who was the man from the land of Uz? And Satan and God argued about him. And God let Satan do stuff to this man. This poor man lost everything. So who was the man from the land of Uz? UZ. Correct, Jericho. That's awesome. Okay. Which woman wandered in the desert for a time with her son, Ishmael? I don't even know if I read this one, but I know that I know I haven't, but yep, Hagar. Yep, you're right, Jericho. I'm going to try from the New Testament because I know certain people have read the New Testament. Jesus raised Lazarus from the dead. Who were Lazarus's sisters? And I'll give you a hint. Yep, Jericho, you got it. I didn't even have to give you a hint. All right. Here's another good one. Who prayed in the temple for a son?
Computer was slow. That might be why I couldn't find the camera. Yeah.
Okay, who do either of you guys know who prayed in the temple for a son? I'll give you a few more minutes. Hannah was her name, Jericho. Here's
Hi.
All right, here's another good one from.
Hey. You
Yep.
should give them an easy one.
Yep.
One easy. I can't even answer some of these, but I know there's a lot of good ones.
Yep.
Let me ask one question. Everyone should know this question. Who was Jesus's mother? That should be easy. Oh, yep. I see. Is that right? Yep. That's an obvious one.
Yep, Mary. Yeah, you got it, Jericho.
Okay, we got it.
Okay, here's a good one. This is in the beginning of the Bible, guys. What did God use to guard the gate of Eden? Do you know, Jericho, hon? What did God use to guard the gate at Eden? Well, one of them it's a cherubim and a flaming sword. Genesis chapter 3, verse 24. Okay. Who was Jacob tricked into marrying?
You have a lot of mothers.
I got 3.
No, you got... Oh, yeah.
Yep, you got it right, Jericho. All right, here's a good one. Who was described as the Lord's servant?
Oh, what is Jesus' alternate name?
I think most people know. It wasn't Abraham, Jericho. I should say, who was described as the Lord's maiden servant? That's the hint. Who did Gabriel go to, hon, to tell her that she was picked to be the mother of Jesus? Yep. And I found out that in Hebrew, when you say Jesus' name in Hebrew, it is Yahshua. And God's name is Yahweh. As we say it, like when we first breathe in the morning, when we get up, we go, Yahweh. So that's an interesting fact that I found out. All right, here's a good one. Who visited Elizabeth before John the Baptist was born? Jericho, do you know this one? Who visited Elizabeth before John the Baptist was born? Yep, her cousin. Yep, Mary. Here's an interesting one. Faith without blank is useless. Faith without blank is useless. Deeds, works, yeah, that's about the same. And that was in James 2:20. Here's a good one, guys, that everybody should know. And I'm just reading them from my cards. So, what did Pilate put on the cross above Jesus's head? What did the sign say above Jesus when he was crucified? And this was in John 19, verse 19. King of the Jews. Yep. Jesus of Nazareth, the King of the Jews. You got that right, Jericho. Okay. Here's one that I read in the beginning of my thing. In the armor of God, what is the helmet? In the armor of God prayer, what is the helmet? Yep, you got that right, Jericho. Here's a good one. Where did Moses see the burning bush? This is in Exodus 3, verse 1 and 2. Do you know this one, Jericho? Where did Moses see the burning bush? Yeah, but what mountain? No, it's not Mount Sinai. It's another mountain. Starts with an H. Mount. That's okay. Yeah, well, we'll have to figure that more out. If you guys don't know it, I'll tell you it. Okay? Is that all right, guys? It's Mount Horeb. 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 Mount Horeb. Here's a good one. To whom did an angel say, "Greetings, you who are highly favored. The Lord is with you"? I got two. I got 4 thumbs up. This is in the New Testament. I'll give you that hint. To whom did the angel say, "Greetings, you who are highly favored. The Lord is with you"? No, it wasn't Abraham, hon. This is in the New Testament. No. When he, let me put it this way. It was the angel Gabriel that said this to a woman. And the lady has a prayer for her, too. Yep, Mary. Yep, you got that right, Jericho. Okay, here's another good one. What did the women bring to Jesus's tomb? Yeah, I'll give you that one to you, Jericho. And it is sweet spices, so it's oil and like it was like the frankincense and myrrh that Mary and Joseph got from the 3 kings that came to him at 2 years old. Okay, here's a good one. What did the dove come back with to give to Noah? The one that had the ark. Yep, you got that right, Jericho. Okay, here's a good one that's in the Old Testament. Who purchased Joseph as a slave? This is in Genesis 37, verse 36. Yep. Yep, you got that right, Jericho. Here's a good one. Who made a riddle about a lion? Yep, you got that right, Jericho. All right, here's a New Testament one. Who killed James, John's brother? It was a king, guys. I'm going to give you that hint. It was a king. Which king was in power at that time? He was also the king when, yes, Jericho, you got it. Herod. King Herod. All right, here's an Old Testament one. What priest anointed Saul? I can't even give you a hint because it's the answer for this one. What priest anointed Saul? Samuel, yeah, you're right, Jericho. That's awesome. All right, here's another one. Whose mother brought to the temple a robe she had made for him each year? No. Whose mother? It was a son that was in the temple. Which mother made these robes for him each year? Samuel, yep. Here's an interesting one. This King Ahab was ruler over what country? And this is in 1 Kings verse 20 or chapter 20 verse 2. What King Ahab was ruler over what country? Yep, you got it right, Jericho. Yeah, I did. I said Israel. Yeah.
Because the problem is when the live stream's gone and you replay it, you won't have to.
Oh, yeah, true. All right, here's a good one. Under Solomon's reign, where was the Ark of the Covenant located? Under Solomon's reign, where was the Ark of the Covenant located? You know that one, Jericho? In the Holy of Holies? Jerusalem, yeah, I can accept that answer because that is the holiest city of all. Yep, Jerusalem. Yep. Okay. Here's a good one. Before the kings, who governed Israel? Before the kings, who governed Israel? Yep, that is correct, Jericho. Judges and the priests also help the judges. All right. Here's a good one. What are we supposed to put on in order to stand against the schemes of the devil? I say this every time I start my daily reading. Yep, the armor of God. Yep, you got it, hon. Here's a good one. What was the other name given to Matthew? What was the other name given to Matthew? Here's a hint. It's in Matthew 9, verse 9, and in Luke chapter 5, verse 27. No, that is not correct, Jericho. Keep trying, hon. But it's in Matthew chapter 9, verse 9, and in Luke chapter 5, verse 27. The other name that was given to Matthew was Levi. All right. Where was Mary living when the angel Gabriel appeared to her? That's okay, hon. I don't mind if people want to look it up. It helps you understand the Bible more. My husband does listen to me when I'm reading, so he's learning. Yep, Nazareth was where she was when Gabriel appeared to her. And it's like the book that I read on Christmas Eve.
Oh, yeah, Book of Nazareth.
Yeah. Okay, here's an interesting one. Whose daughter did David marry? Whose daughter did David marry? Yep, you got it right, Jericho. Saul's daughter. Here's a good one. Who did Jesus say was the God of this world? Who runs this world today?
Deep state.
You got that right, Jericho. Satan himself. And I think we are closer to the rapture than we think. Very funny, hon. Okay, here's a good one. Where did Samson find honey? Yeah, I think some of us all do agree about the thing my husband just put up. They need to go bye-bye. But in the lion's carcass, yeah, in the lion's skull, yeah, that's right, Jericho. Here's a good one. Where was Elijah when God called to him? Where was Elijah when God called him? Do you know this one, Jericho? Where was Elijah when God called him? No, he had oxen with him. What would you do with oxen? Two of them, or one, depending on what he was using. That's my hint. Yep, in the fields. Here's a good one. According to Jesus, who is the greatest prophet ever born? Who was the greatest prophet ever born, said by Jesus? Nope. No, it wasn't Isaiah, hon. Try relative. Try relative. Who was Jesus's relative? You got it right, Jericho. John the Baptist. I still can't believe a woman asked for John the Baptist's head. That was not a very good woman, tell you that much. Nothing. Okay, here's a. Where was Saul going when a light shined from heaven and the Lord spoke to him? Where was Saul going when a light shined from heaven and the Lord spoke to him? Where was Saul going when a light shined from heaven and the Lord spoke to Saul? He basically put an angel in front of him, and the donkey was the only one that saw the angel. But where was Saul going? What city or town, Jericho?
Nazareth?
No, not Nazareth. No, not Jerusalem. I'll give you the answer. It's Damascus.
Oh, yep.
And that's in Acts chapter 9, verse 3 and 4. Here's a good one from the Old Testament. After crossing the Red Sea, how many days did the children of Israel go without water? After crossing the Red Sea, how many days did the children of Israel go without water? A little lower than 40 days, Jericho. Keep going down. Well, how many days can a human, us, how many days can we survive without water? Yep, my husband got it. 3 days. That is the correct answer. Yep. All right. Here's a good one. Jacob wore what kind of clothing to trick his father into giving him the firstborn's birthright? Yeah, I'll accept that one. It's goat skins, but sheepskins, it could be the same because he had to have them on the woolly side because his brother was hairy. All right, here's a good one. Who wrote the most books of the New Testament? Who wrote the most books of the New Testament? Yep, Paul did. All right, you got that right, Jericho. Which Old Testament book tells us about the life of Abraham? What Old Testament book tells us about the life of Abraham? That was not it, Jericho. But you are close, but it's not Exodus. What's the first book of the Bible? Genesis. Yep. All right. Here's a good one. Who was Moses's wife? Probably not good, but these are the questions I got. And this is in Exodus 2:21. Yep. Zipporah. That's an interesting, cool name. All right. Who wrote Ephesians? Which of the disciples wrote Ephesians? Yep, Paul did. Here's an interesting one. I may not be able to pronounce the names. What happened to the men that threw Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego into the fiery furnace? What happened to the men that threw Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego into the fiery furnace? Yeah, it engulfed them. Hi, Shadow Scout Swede. Good morning to you too, sir. There you go. Thank you for coming on, Shadow. I appreciate it. What time is it in Sweden right now, hon? It's got to be like 7, 8, 9 o'clock, give or take, because I know it's probably what? 9:45 here, p.m. All right, we're going to go on to the next question. 4 a.m. Wow, you're up early. Okay, here's the next question, and this is in the Old Testament. What are the names of Noah's 3 sons? And the hint is in Genesis chapter 5, verse 32. What are Noah's 3 sons' names? Shem, Ham. Yep, you got that right, Jericho. All right, here's another one. Where was Moses standing when God told him to take off his sandals? Where was Moses standing when God told him to take off his sandals? But what was the ground called, Jericho? Because God told Moses that he was standing on what type of ground? Holy ground. Yep. All right, here's a New Testament. How many disciples had the name James? How many disciples had the name James from the New Testament? Is that your final answer, Jericho? Because this is in Matthew chapter 10, verse 2 and 3. Actually, there are two. James, the son of Zebedee, and James, the son of Alphaeus. So there were two names that were named James that Jesus had. James, the son of Zebedee, and James, the son of Alphaeus. Yeah, I know. But they left out a lot of stuff in the Bible. And I'll probably read some with one of my live streams. I may show. Babe, can you get me the book? I might as well show it now. Get me the newest one that I got.
Where did you put it, over here?
Yeah, it should be over there, or it's on the table. No, that's the Secrets of Deliverance. I'll get into that one later, way later. But it's the book of Enoch. Has anybody ever heard of that book? The book of Enoch.
Dan Brown Companion.
It should be on the table. If not, it's in the table.
Probably in the table.
Yeah, I probably put it in the table. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that was left out of the Bible. Even Mary Magdalene's testimony. It should say the book of Enoch. Ugh. Don't make me come over there. I'll be right back, guys. Ow. All right, I found it. It is this one. And so far, I've read a little bit, and it's really, really good. And yeah, he does. It's like, holy moly. No wonder nobody can find Enoch's grave. That's an interesting fact in the book, because Yahweh brought him up, body and soul, into heaven. Yeah, they are, as far as I've got. Yeah. All right, here is. Yeah, I will. Here's another question. Who was a Pharisee before he became an apostle of Jesus? Who was a Pharisee before he became an apostle of Jesus? Yes, they both will. Oh, cool. Yeah, Paul was a Pharisee before he became an apostle of Jesus. Thank you, Jericho. Okay. Who was God's chosen disciple to the Gentiles, kings, and the children of Israel? Who was God's chosen disciple to the Gentiles, kings, and the children of Israel? Oof. Paul, yeah. Jericho, you got it. Paul. He was also known as Saul before he became Paul. They got a lot of name changes for a lot of these men and women. All right, here's a good one. This is from the New Testament. Which one of these disciples was not a fisherman? John, James, Andrew, or Matthew? Which one of these disciples was not a fisherman? John, James, Andrew, or Matthew? Yep, Jericho, you got it right. All right, here's a New Testament. I think that's what it is. But to what did Jesus drive the demons of Gadara into? What did he, where did Jesus drive the demons that were named Legion into? What did, where did Legion go to? You got that right, Jericho. A herd of swine, pigs. All right, here's in the New Testament or Old Testament. How many sons did Jacob have? How many sons did Jacob have? I'll give you a hint. How many tribes of Judah do we have? Yep, 12 sons. Here's another good one, guys. What is our 8th commandment in the 10 commandments? What is the 8th commandment? What is the 8th commandment? Does anybody know? It's thou shall not that is one of them, but it's not that one. The eighth one. I think the honor of the parents was like the fourth or the fifth. The eighth one. Does anybody know? The eighth commandment. Thou shalt not
Steal?
My husband just got it. Thou shalt not steal. And I know we've all done that when we were younger. And that's not right. Honor his commandments. And we will lead a better life going toward Yahweh and his son Yahshua. Okay. Who was not one of the original 12 disciples? Carrie, I'm making you a moderator. So. Yep. Okay. Here's a one. To what place did the angel tell Joseph to flee with Mary and Jesus? Where did the angel? Yep, you got it, Jericho. Egypt. Here's an interesting from the New Testament. Which brother of Jesus wrote a book of the Bible? Which brother of Jesus wrote a book of the Bible? You got that right, Jericho. Jericho, you live in Arizona, don't you? Oh, Pennsylvania. Okay. Then you're close to me. That's cool. My sister Carrie, she's out in Arizona. I might be thinking of somebody else that lives out that way that I watch. I forget who. All right. Here's. Yeah, I know. Very funny, Carrie. Ha ha ha. Okay. Where was Jesus when he turned the water into wine? Very fun. Jericho. Yep, the wedding feast at Cana. You're right, Carrie. All right, here's a good one. Yep, same. Yep, at a wedding. Okay. Name something that Jesus compared the kingdom of heaven to. Name something Jesus compared the kingdom of heaven to. Yeah, tell all the kids I said hi and give them a hug for me. Okay. Just tell them good night then. I'll talk to you later. Yeah, I know you love me. I'm the oldest. Y'all gotta love me. Regardless. I love each and every one of you. All right. See you later, Carrie. All right, guys. Name something Jesus compared the kingdom of heaven to. And there's a lot of them that he compared the kingdom of heaven to. In the Christian religion, when they do Lent, they give us a type of seed to nurture. What was that seed? That is your hint. No, but it's in Matthew 13, Jericho. Matthew 13. And there are several things. So, yep, Jericho, you got one of them. Do you know any of the others, Jericho? Because there's like 6 of them that is listed, other than the mustard seed. I like giving the hints. It makes it a little easier for you guys to figure that out. And how long do you think I should go? I'm already in an hour and 2 minutes. So I don't know how long, and I'm going to have to go to bed soon because I got to get up in the morning to go to work at 8 a.m. So I'm just, first time for everything. I might do it a little earlier now that I know how to do this. But yeah, Tuesday. Do you know any of the other ones, Jericho, other than the mustard seed? Okay, yeah. All right. But remember, I have 2 sets of them, hon. I have this set I have not gotten into yet, but I am doing this one. So this one's got a little bit more trivia, but I mean, it's an hour and 3 minutes in, and I've never done it this way. So it's going to be an interesting thing to figure out how to, put it up on to my channel. But if you guys are okay with the hour and 3 minutes, I'm good too. And we can save it for the next time, and I'll figure out. Okay. Hi, Jen. Yep. Yeah, I will. All right. Here's another one then, Jen. All right. In what Old Testament book does Moses part the Red Sea? In what Old Testament book does Moses part the Red Sea? Yep, Exodus. Yep, you got that right, Jericho. All right. Here's a good one. What substance did Jesus say was good for nothing when it loses its flavor? What substance did Jesus say was good for nothing when it loses its flavor? And it's one of the things we use today on our dinner tables. You got that right, Jericho. Salt. The next question. Where were the two disciples going when Jesus joined them on the road? Yeah, we are definitely the salt of the earth, Jericho. But where were the two disciples going when Jesus joined them on the road? Jericho, you had it partially right. It was Emmaus. Yep, Emmaus. I think that's how it's spelled. Here's a good one. Everyone must blank himself to the governing authorities. Everyone must blank himself to the governing authorities. And this is in Romans 13:1. That's all right, Jericho. I hate spell check too, so. Well, I don't hate it. I just dislike it because I screw up words. Yep, submit, is it? All right. Here's another one. Yeah. That's basically what we should be doing, Northern Girl Hobbies, Jen. We shouldn't submit to the governed. Okay. What feast day did Jesus and his disciples celebrate the Last Supper? What feast day did Jesus and his suppers? What feast day did Jesus and his disciples celebrate at the Last Supper? Because I know we're coming up into, yep, Jericho, you got that, the Passover. Okay. Here's another good one. Yeah, during Lent. It's a Jewish holiday for the Jews. It is their Passover. It's a little different because the Catholics do it a little differently. Northern Girl, we don't eat unleavened bread like the Jews do. And we don't fast like they do. Some of them fast throughout the 40 days of Lent, as far as I know from what I've read in the Bible. Because look at Moses and the Israelites. They were in the desert for 40 years, and all they had was the manna that God sent them every day, but one day that they could not, he was not giving it to them. So they had to do extra. Yes, the Feast of Yahweh is good to learn about. Okay. All right. What group of people captured the Ark of the Covenant? What group of people captured the Ark of the Covenant? And I'll let you, here's the hint, guys. David fought with the giant. What was the giant's name and where was he from? Jericho, you got it right. The Philistines. And the giant's name was Goliath. And he laughed at David for not having any armor or anything else. Plus, David said he had the armor of God to protect him. He didn't need the soldier's helmet. He didn't need the soldier's breastplate or any of the other stuff. He just used a sling and a stone to fell the giant named Goliath. What word does John use to describe those who are against Christ? I don't know that one, Jericho. I'm going to have to look on that one. I don't know why he picked up 5 stones. Maybe just to judge the weight? Because if it was too heavy, it wouldn't have gone. If any of them were heavy, they wouldn't have gone far. Yeah, I know. And it's surprising that the 4 brothers of Goliath didn't go after David. But what word does John use to describe those who are against Christ? That is a question. And if you've read Revelations, yep, Jericho, you got it right. The Antichrist and deceiver, which I know the Antichrist is here on earth. He just hasn't made himself known yet. Yeah. Okay. What does the Hebrew word Abba mean? What does the Hebrew word Abba mean? And it is in Romans chapter 8, verse 15. Yep, I'll accept that answer, Jericho. The other ones are Papa or Daddy. That's what the Hebrews called their fathers. All right, here's a good one. In the New Testament, who wrote Ephesians? Which disciple wrote Ephesians? It's one of the 12 that wrote. Yep, Jericho, you got it right. Paul, the Apostle Paul. All right, here's a good one. What is another name for the city of David? What is another name for the city of David? Yeah, she won't go down the rabbit hole with you. Not here. But what is another name for the city of David? That is one of them, Jericho. You got 2 other names. There's 3 names. They're in 1 Kings. Yep, Zion is one. Jerusalem is another one. Here's another hint. Jesus was born there. Yep, you got that right, Northern Girl. That's a good one, too. Okay. In what Old Testament book did Moses lead God's people out of Egypt? In what Old Testament book did Moses lead God's people out of Egypt? That is correct, Jericho. Exodus. chapter 12, verse 31 through 38. Which chapter in 1 Corinthians is known as the love chapter? What chapter in 1 Corinthians is known as the love chapter? You're almost there, Jericho. It's a little higher. Got any more guesses, Jericho? It's a little more higher than that. Keep going. It's like past 10. The chapter with Adam and Eve, that would be Exodus, Northern Girl. That's the first book of the Bible. That's when God made the earth, started on the first day, and ended on the seventh day. And here's a fun fact. When he sat down on the last day, Saturday, we are supposed to be resting on Saturday, but we're also supposed to be church on Saturdays, not Sundays. But what was which chapter in 1 Corinthians is known as the love chapter? Does anybody know? I didn't even know this myself, and I've read Corinthians, I believe. It's in 1 Corinthians 13. 1 Corinthians 13 is the chapter as the love chapter. All right, here's a good one. What two things did Jesus compare us to? What two things did Jesus compare us? Yeah, it is. What two things did Jesus compare us to? And it is in Matthew 5, verses 13 and 14. What two things did Jesus compare us to? No, that's not right, but it's basically like in the, I forget which one, but the lady that turned into a pillar, Salt and Light. Yep, you got that right. All right. Jacob wore what kind of clothing to trick his father into giving him the inheritance of the firstborn? What Jacob wore what kind of clothing? What kind of skins did Jacob wear to trick his father? Jericho. Goat skins. Yep. Goat skins. Genesis 27, chapter 27, verses 15 through 24. All right, here's a good one. After crossing, why would he wear the goat skins? Because his brother was probably hairier than him. And that's the only way his father could know him, because of the thickness of the arm hair that his brother had. Because Jacob was the second born, and his father gave him Esau's birthright. Yep, his father was blind. Okay. After crossing the Red Sea, how many days did the children of Israel go without water? This is in Exodus 15, chapters 22 and 23. How many days did the children of Israel go without water? Northern Girl, you are right. 3 days. All right, here's another one. Who did God send to prepare the way for the Son? Oh, yeah, I understand that, Jericho. I'm just going through the cards. All right, here's one that I don't think I've repeated. Where did the lamb's blood have to be put for the Israelites to be passed over by the plague? Where did the lamb's blood have to be put for the Israelites to be passed over by the plague? This is in Exodus chapter 12, verse 7. The plagues, yep, the doorpost and lintel on the sides and the tops of the doors to their homes. It was the plagues that, Northern Girl, it was the plagues that the Pharaoh basically told Moses to do, because he told his guards to kill the firstborns of the Israelites. So God killed the firstborn of the Egyptians, and the locust ate all the food of the Egyptians. Then the frogs that came out of the river, the blood that was in the river. No, Moses was not evil. Moses was saved by the Pharaoh's daughter. Moses grew up in Pharaoh's house before he killed a guard that was overseeing somebody that he was going to kill. So Moses basically killed this high-ranking officer of Egypt. So he had to wander. He had to basically run like a fugitive. Yep. Blood on the doorpost. And I'm going to show that to you guys. I'm going to do one with the anointing oil. Babe, can you give me the anointing oil, hon? So I can show them. Yeah, that. I'm going to do another
Psalms 91.
With Psalms 91, it's hyssop anointing oil from Jerusalem itself to protect the house. It'll be over your doorways, and I will show that maybe in the next video or the next live stream. So if anybody has any questions about it, I will try to answer certain things. But is this a good stopping point for everybody? Because I do have to get up early tomorrow morning to go to work, because I work at 8 a.m. to 2 in the afternoon tomorrow. I might hop on Tuesday or Wednesday, depending on what my second job, because I have 2 jobs. I have one in the morning that's like 8 a.m. to 2, and then the evening one is like 6 p.m. to 10. So I'm in the Finger Lakes region area of New York, Jericho. Yes, good night, Northern Girl. Good night, Jen. But everybody have a blessed night. And remember to always pray the armor of God over you, over your family. Well, give me my book, please, so I can do that. I'm going to end with the armor of God prayer. It's in my notebook, the little black one. Yeah, the one that's probably over there on the table, maybe. Table.
The composition?
Yeah, it might be that one. Does it say it?
Yeah, probably.
Okay. No, that's my Stardew Valley notes. Sorry. That's one of the games I play. It's another black and white book. It's probably over on the table. If not, it's on the other one. Hold on, guys. Yeah, that was fun, Jericho. Yep. Sorry, guys. But here's the prayer, the armor of God. It is in Ephesians 6. The armor of God. I put on and stand firm with the belt of truth buckled around my waist. I am safe and secure with the breastplate of righteousness, guarding my heart from evil, helping me live a life that honors you. I diligently put on the gospel shoes of peace, willing to go wherever you ask of me. I take and stand behind the shield of faith, protected against Satan's fiery darts of doubt, fear, lies, and deceit. Now on my head, I place the helmet of salvation, keeping my mind on you. I grab hold in my hand of the sword of the Spirit, the word of God, sharp and true. I am prepared to live today in the spiritual victory. In Jesus' name, amen. Good night, all.